What is going on? It is Nate the Game Guy coming back with another video at hand, and today I want to talk about some display ideas and display tips that I use myself when it comes to displaying various games and items in the game room. Now, I've been a game collector for a very long time. I have about 3,400 games in the game collection, so it is a hobby that I am truly passionate about. So, of course, I do like to share this passion with everybody here on YouTube. So it does bring me a lot of delight to be able to share some of my own tips and ideas when it comes to displaying the game room. Some of these tips I have learned from other YouTubers. Some of them I personally have taught myself, along with a few other things as well. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video's topic, take a look at some of these display tips and ideas right after the intro. So the first display tip and idea, I'm actually very surprised that nobody has brought up to me or asked me yet here on YouTube, and that is the shelving that I use for the game room. For those that are wondering about my shelving, these shelves I did not go out to a store to purchase. These cannot be purchased online. The very interesting thing about these shelves, I built them all myself. And the reason why was I wanted to have customizable shelves where I would be able to adjust the sizes of the shelving on the units, where in case if I wanted to display Sega CD or PS2 or Sega Dreamcast, I can adjust the shelves accordingly, where there's not either a giant gap or it's just too tight of a fit. With these shelves, I went out to Home Depot and I had these shelves all cut up to be the exact way that I want them to be. I painted them myself. I also did like the varnish on them. I did all the work. And the funny thing is, all these shelves took me about a month each to make. It was a lot of hard work, but I really like it is because these shelves are really sturdy and they're built very well compared to other shelves that I found online. Now, of course, I'm not saying for those watching this video that you got to go out to Home Depot or Lowe's and start learning how to build bookshelves and teach yourself how to do carpentry. But what I am saying is, don't always think that you just have to buy something online in order to make your game room and game collection look nice. Sometimes getting a little creative and thinking outside of the box can go a long way. But I will say, if you have the ability to and you're willing to teach yourself, I would strongly recommend looking into making your own bookshelves, because me personally, I think the bookshelves that I've made are a lot sturdier and just a lot better quality when it comes to other bookshelves that I've tried to purchase for the game room before in the past. Now, the next display tip that I want to talk about in this video is using picture frame stands. These picture frame stands I have purchased before from stores such as Joann's and Michael's, and I really like these display stands that I've used for displaying controllers and displaying handhelds over the years. Currently, right now, with my current layout in the game room, I am displaying my Game Boy Advance on one of these picture frame stands. I did a little bit of some looking online, and I remembered that I learned this tip originally from Pete Dorr, so I want to give a quick shout out to Pete Dorr for me being able to use this idea that he threw up on his channel successfully. And I have to say, I think it looks really nice, and it just gives that sense of professionalism in the game room, and it just looks really nice to see just the way how it just stands out, it just pops out, and it really looks and gives the impression that you really do show love and care for some of your collectibles, accessories, handhelds, and all that good stuff as well. Of course, I do talk about that too on my other video about must-have items for a game room, so I would recommend checking that video out, that I will be linking somewhere for you guys to check out. But yeah, I would strongly recommend picking up some picture frame stands. I'll be giving a few links down below in the description where you will be able to purchase some picture frame stands that I personally recommend. So if you can, and if you think that will be a great idea for your game room, I would strongly recommend putting some of those goodies on those picture frame stands. So my next tip that I want to share when it comes to display tips and ideas for the game room is using cardboard. So what do I mean by using cardboard in the game room? So I'm sure a lot of you have noticed already that I have a lot of collectibles displayed on top of my shelves, where I've got like various Funko Pops, figures, and all sorts of lovely game related goodies. So I'm sure you can probably guess behind those shelves there's a little bit of a gap where sometimes stuff will be able to sneak through, where it will sometimes fall down or whatever. Now thankfully I don't have a lot of any small collectibles that would fall behind those shelves, at least placed in the back. But I will say a great tip that I've taught myself when it comes to displaying stuff in the game room is what I like to do is cut a little piece of cardboard and place it back there, and I will essentially put my goodies on top of the cardboard, where the part of the cardboard that's on the shelf, the weight of whatever I'm trying to display will hold it up, and that way nothing will be able to fall behind the shelf. Now I'm not going to use a actual video footage of me putting something behind the shelves that I'm using already, is just because it would be a lot of work, but I will put some video up right now where I will show you exactly what I'm doing as to where I'm putting some cardboard up, filling in the gap, and when I'm putting a collectible up, it just doesn't fall through. So that is something that I would highly encourage for a lot of collectors when it comes to displaying their game room, because it will save quite a bit of some headaches, so that way you don't have to worry about stuff slipping behind there, and you are able to successfully protect some of your collectibles. So my next tip that I want to share when it comes to displaying stuff in the game room is using command strips. So command strips are like these little Velcro pieces that you are able to use, and essentially what you do is you place one piece up against the wall and then the other piece up against whatever you're trying to display. So as you can see right here, I have a few things placed up where they are being used by command strips. Most notably my Crash Bandicoot Lexling thing that was signed to me, and then a Zack and Wiki postcard. Now, the Pac-Man Ghost and the Galaga thing are not put up with command strips, is because command strips do leave a little bit of residue sometimes when it comes to putting things up against the wall. So a lot of times it will say in the instructions that it is recommended to put the command strips up against the frame of whatever you're trying to hang up, and not like the little cardboard thing behind, like say the poster or whatever you're putting in the picture frame. Of course, I'm not going to give all the details and give a full-blown tutorial on command strips, because 3M was already kind enough to put tutorials up on YouTube as it is. But what I like about using these command strips is the fact that you don't get to put a hole through the drywall, put a nail in, and essentially you'll have to patch it up at some point or another. But instead, it's pretty convenient where, you just put the strips on to whatever you're trying to hang up against the wall, and there you go. So that way you don't have to worry about fixing any damage once you're done hanging said picture or item. So that will be my fourth display tip, is using command strips to hang up some of your goodies. Now, in my opinion, this has to be one of the most important tips, if not the most important tip, when it comes to display ideas and display tips for this video, and that is, do not buy stuff just to fill up space. Trust me, over time, you will easily fill up space when it comes to collectibles and all that wonderful stuff in the game room. Of course, that also applies to video games too, not just collectibles. Trust me, you will easily fill up space over time. So make sure if you're gonna get collectibles, make sure that you get collectibles that you really, really like, that you enjoy looking at, and don't just buy collectibles just to fill up space. You'll easily do it over time. Sometimes I'm a little bit of a hypocrite myself because I'll go out someplace and I'll be like, oh, cool, this is a collectible that is, I don't know, related to Sonic or Assassin's Creed or Mario or Halo or whatever, right? And I'll immediately just want to buy it. And, you know, I have to be careful is because there's only so much space in your game room, my game room. So make sure that if you are buying collectibles, you're really getting the ones that you really like to look at, you really like to collect, is because space is limited. Be smart with your space and make sure that your game room looks good for you. All right, and that is going to conclude my video for display tips and display ideas for game rooms and game collections. What do you guys think? Did you find any tips to be helpful, enjoyable to look at, all that good stuff? What are some display ideas and tips that you guys feel like sharing? Feel free to comment in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what everybody does when it comes to display ideas and tips. Give this video a like if you did enjoy watching it, learned something new, all that good stuff. And of course, please do consider subscribing. I post a lot of content when it comes to game collecting, the game room, game-related topics. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, please do consider subscribing. But if you're going to subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell notification button so that way you will be notified when I upload a video just like this. I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I'll be seeing you guys next time.